Sir.
Okay.
So can we start, sir?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good morning, one and all, and a warm welcome to our Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Satish Ubade, our guest of honor, Mr. Gaurav Ambedkar, faculties and students of Matrix, DIMR and APIMR. Dear students, Matrix believes in leveraging the management competencies amongst the MBA graduate for business and industry by expanding their horizon with updated information in the field of management. In continuation with this, our Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Satish Ubade, has initiated Fourth Dimension Lecture Series, where we invite renowned experts from different fields of academics and industry who shares their experience with our students, which helps them to improve their domain knowledge and employability skills. Our today's guest of honor, Mr. Gaurav Ambedkar, is HR consultant and training and OD practitioner. Sir has worked closely with the Indian Army as a part of his job profile with Maruti Molecular Blast. He was successful in growing a startup from 5 employees to over 100 at Access Software Private Limited. The efforts and commitment of Mr. Gaurav was recognized by the CEO of DMI Inc. for completing 8 glorious years with the organization. Sir was instrumental in developing multiple organizations in the capacity of HR consultant. Mr. Gaurav has conducted training in many companies. Some of them are Bharat Forge Limited, Volkswagen India, Fiat Plant of Ranjangaon, Kotmac Electronics Private Limited, Indian Seamless Metal and Tubes, Asian Paints, Analogic Automation Private Limited, and Anulom Technologies. Gaurav sir is also working for the Students Development Program in various institutes with an aim to mold the students into professional managers by imparting high-quality, application-oriented inputs that equip them to withstand the pressures of the global business environment. Welcome, Gaurav sir. Welcome to Matrix.
Thank you. So I'll take over.
Sir, just a request from our side. Before you start with the session, can we have a photo with you, sir?
Yes.
So I request all the participants to switch on their cameras. We will have a photo with Gaurav sir, and immediately then Gaurav sir can start. Yes, all the students are requested to switch on their cameras fast. Please switch on your cameras. Divya Daswadkar, Vishal Singh, Sonali Pardeshi, Purva Sanam, Nilambari Sant, switch on your camera fast. Sanket Naikde, Pratik Patil, Abhishek Rupnavar. Do it fast. It hardly takes a second or so. Ishika Gupta, Renuka Jadhav, Shaileja, Deepti. Do it fast. Amol Bonde, Pratiksha, Sakshi Bhagat, Hatim. Switch on your camera. Isha Survey, Abhinav Dakode, switch on your camera. We will have a photo with Gaurav sir. Okay. Thank you. It's done, sir. So all the students are again requested to turn off their cameras. Thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you very much. Over to you, Gaurav sir.
Thank you. So good morning, all the students. Now you all are on a threshold of a very important dimension on your career. You will be moving into the corporate world. And there's been a lot of journey that you have taken. So many times what excites you all about is 2 foundations. One is the academia. And honestly, what excites most of the students is, the future, the, jobs, the placements. But many of the time, this is a picture that reflects your thought process. If you see this picture, you will see some people going up the ladder and some people coming down the ladder. It is an illusion. But what is the reality? It is a part of your life today. Many people think they are growing in their career. Some people think they are coming down in their career. But this also exists in the minds of people who have mid careers or retirement stage. It's not only for a fresher. So consistently, what matters for all of you is to realize that whenever you are going and looking at your journey in your life, you will always feel that the grass is always green on the other side. But you have to roll up your sleeves and start working. That matters at all times in your industry. Because today the industry wants people who will take maximum responsibility in minimum authority. It is very easy to say, make me the project manager, then I will do it. Make me the chief minister, then I will do it. But industry will want people who will initiate, who will take the lead. Then everything will follow. Responsibilities have to be taken. So when we look at, your journey in your careers, please look at one important dimension that, this communication factor stays throughout, even as a fresher, even as a mid-level career. Because if you look at a job description for somebody who is starting his career or even at the later part of his career, one line is very common in all job descriptions, which is good communication skills. Just want to reconfirm. Anand sir, I hope this slide is visible now. Importance of communication. Just somebody needs to confirm whether the slide importance of communication is visible on screen.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Thank you. Thank you. So we are concentrating on this primarily because we need people and students to realize that you may enter the industry, you may be an engineer, you may be an MBA, your specialization may be finance, IT. It starts with communication. Who are those people who fly abroad? When will you get a chance to go abroad or promote yourself? Not only because you're doing a great job, you're doing good coding, good programming. You can send that by an email. But if you are a point of contact between the customer and your organization, then you'll get a chance to fly. You'll be going abroad. You'll be doing great work, coming back. Your career will take off. So it really needs character. In India, we need to realize that there are two things that are very important. One is participation, and the next is performance. Sadly, we only start with participation. We don't graduate to performance. So students need to ensure that they don't only participate in a college event, in a organization, in your family get-togethers, but you perform. Industry wants performers. Industry does not want only people who will participate. So your entire logic thought process has to be slightly one step ahead. You should look at performance, your team performance, your organization performance. So when you're looking at, as a student, it's a collection of thoughts that come in. Industry expects a collective approach from an MBA student. Today, you may have your specialization, but at the end, when you grow in your career, go higher on your career, you don't get the core aspect, you get the overall aspect. Imagine you're a specialization in marketing. You may start your career as a marketing executive, doing some sales, promoting your product. But when you spend 10 years in the industry, you will not do that. You will be a senior person. You will get work done from people. We all are very happy when students are working for us or employees are working for us. The real question is, are your colleagues, are your employees working for you in your absence? When you're standing there, everybody will work. If you're not there, in your absence, if your people work for you, that is a big achievement. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Just need your confirmation, students. Purva, Akshada, Shreya, Kiran, do you agree with what I'm saying? We would appreciate this as a dialogue. So, it doesn't become only a one-way interaction. Just need to reconfirm, students, because at any point of time, if you feel I'm, saying something which you don't agree, you should raise your hands. Is it clear, all of you?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Look at this picture. What is it that comes to your mind? This is a ad of a dentist. The dentist is trying to say, or the toothpaste power, company is trying to say that teeth are very important for a happy smile. Teeth are very important for people to be having a good picture. Has everybody seen the picture very clearly?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the dilemma out over here is, this gentleman doesn't have an eyebrow. Most of you may have seen the picture and recognized only the teeth over here. But, many people missed out on the eyebrow. That's what the industry is all about. The micro aspects are very, very critical. I hope students, you get some message from this. Agreed? I'm getting messages on the chat, but would prefer a dialogue. Students, what was your learning from this picture? Hitesh, Prateek, any opinion from this? When you look at these three pictures or three cycles of iteration, which one is the most important? Govind, can you come up with your opinion and tell me out of the three options? Okay, Abhinav, thanks for your update. I'm seeing your messages. Thank you so much. Going further, when you're looking at these three dimensions of the personality that is important, can you tell me which one is the most important? Soham, Rohan, Yash, can you all tell me? I have given three options. Which one looks more interesting for all of you?
From my side, the darker one.
Okay, thanks for your feedback. Appreciated, Shantanu. You would be probably one of those people whose companies would be interested in connecting with you, because in a very big classroom, you volunteered to come up and speak. Excellent. In reality, all three cycles are important, but the overlapping areas become more critical. Companies are looking for multi-skilled people, MBAs who have multiple skills. So the biggest lesson for you in your life is look at this picture, that your past is an experience. Your present is an experiment. It's an ongoing experiment. You're learning every day. Your future is a lot of expectations about good jobs, good careers. So use your experiences in your daily experiments to achieve your future expectations. Very important for all students to understand. As individuals entering the industry, the language of the industry is the future. You should really register this in your mind, that when you're in the industry, don't try to blow the trumpet. Don't speak about the past. Many individuals will hear talk about Mera Gaon, Mere Dadaji, Mere Nanaji. You should not speak on the past. You should speak about the future. What does a good entrepreneur do? He says, I have some money. You have some knowledge. Let's collaborate. Tomorrow we'll make profits. What does a good marketing guy say? Buy my product. Tomorrow you'll have a good time. What does a good HR say? Join my company. Tomorrow you'll have a career. What are people talking? They're talking about the future. Ensure that in your interviews, you are able to talk. That is really very critical, very important. I hope you agree with this, students. Please confirm. Okay, messages are coming up. We would also appreciate a voice. Thank you so much. All of you, please look at this very exciting event in 1962. China attacked India. And Major Shaitan Singh was with his Charlie company of the Kumaon regiment at Razangla. Now, a company generally has 3 platoons, say around 120, 50, 150 plus people. But the Chinese who attacked at that point of time had a strength of around 5,000 soldiers. Now, there was no chance that the Indians could fight such a large number of soldiers. So the Indian headquarters told Major Shaitan Singh to withdraw. Please come back, don't fight. On that day, Major Shaitan Singh quickly took up a meeting with his soldiers. He put up a note and said that I am not, falling back. Anybody who wants to go can go, because orders have come from the headquarters to fall back. But I will fight. On that night, every Indian soldier from the Kumaon regiment fought. He did not give up. Everybody was killed. Hardly 3-4 people were alive who, were the cooks or the support staff. But I'm talking about 18th November 1962, minus 25 degrees, temperature. Can you imagine they didn't have even winter clothing, winter equipment? In that, scenario, the commitment was there. This is where, you look at character. This is the level of commitment that today is expected in an organization. आप लोगों ने तो वो फेमस गाना सुना होगा, ए मेरे वतन के लोगों. उसमें कवि प्रदीप ने एक बहुत अच्छी पंक्तियां लिखी है, एक एक ने 10 को मारा. Now that is a statistical true sentence based on this event. If you look at the scenario, out of the total 123 Indian soldiers who died, they killed 1,300 Chinese soldiers. Means 100 Indian killed 1,000 Chinese. एक ने 10 को मारा. वो पंक्तियां जो है, that commitment is today very critical when you have your job in mind. But just wanting sure that I hope you take some inspiration. Major Shaitan Singh then got the Paramveer Chakra. But more importantly, this entire Paltan that went in did not have any winter acclimatization. They were the Ahirs from the Rajasthan Haryana belt. और वहां से सीधा उनको high altitude में लेके गए थे. So can you even imagine without winter acclimatization, they had to come up with such a brave fight? This needs character, students. That's what, we want most of you to inculcate in your daily systems. So we move further looking at, so many important things that we need to realize that man is a social animal. And when you are looking at all these things, it will make a very, very big impact on understanding, how students must work very cohesively to build their career. Very important message, students, I'm giving you, that it is observed that students try to find out jobs. The campus really tries very hard. Placement teams put in a lot of effort to bring big brands to your organization. But students on their own also keep on trying. It's not wrong. Fair enough. But generally, students don't share their openings with others because you fear your jobs will be taken by somebody else. But just imagine you are a class of around, say, 100 students. Everybody is able to look at Google, log into Naukri, find out new jobs and say, a student may find 5 new openings for his own personal self. He goes, he appears. Now, what happens if people will find and share these openings? The class has a strength of 500 job openings. Magic. Imagine half of them are same. What you have found is what others. Still 250, still 125, still 75, still 35. But where are 5 openings? And where are 30, 35 job openings? Magic. So you learn to collaborate. That is missing. Why? Because till today, you all have given your exams as an individual. You have studied as an individual. You have put in all your hard efforts as an individual. Your success, which has been defined as results, is an individual approach. And suddenly when you enter the industry, you have to work in a team. You have to work with unknown people. You have to work with strangers. And that's where we are not comfortable. That's where entire the journey starts. But there is something very critical in your entire journey as a student, which comes up, where you have to learn to work with strangers. And that platform is very, very important. And that is where you need to do your college projects with students in your classroom whom you have never spoken with. How do you do your college projects? You get along with people whom you know, they accept you. But you don't do the projects with unknown people. You should be doing these college projects with students in your classroom whom you have never spoken with. That will prepare you students for the corporate life. It is so critical. So next time, whenever you have to select a project, please don't go along with your friends. Humble request. I will request you to go with your, people in the class जिनसे आपने कभी बात भी नहीं की. आपकी classroom में बैठने का pattern भी कैसे है? You sit on the second row, third bench every day. That is also not good. Your experimental approach is not coming up. So when we are looking at, companies, as I mentioned, they are looking at live projects. They are looking at internships. Companies will only look at your internships. Why? Because see, the entire syllabus is same. जो exam का syllabus आपका है, वही दूसरे student का है. The question paper is same for all the students. Results are declared on the same day, but your project and the other student project is different. That is the unique identity that you have as a student when you go into the jobs, when you go in for a interview. So please, student, do your projects very seriously. They are the gateway to the jobs in the industry. More importantly, when you're looking at candidates, they should also have some startup experiences. Today, industry is moving towards a lot of entrepreneurship. So you should not cut off your entire thoughts from an entrepreneurship angle. Today, people in mid-careers in 30s and 40s quit jobs because they are so higher aspirational to start their own companies. Today, there are multiple government schemes for beginners. So startup concepts should be registered in your mind, students. We generally tend to look at jobs. We generally tend to go ahead and first thing is to secure a good job in placements. But see, that's where we sadly go with the British legacy. British created these systems because they wanted clerks to work for their East India Company. And still we follow the legacy of becoming a employee somewhere. You should take high aspirations to make your own organizations. And that is also very critically important for a long-term career. When you look at this picture, which is the most important dimension? I have given you 4 options, students. Can you tell me which option is the best option? Out of the 4 options, which option should you select? Question open to all of you. Tejal, Priya, Yash, Suraj, Himanshu, would like at least one opinion, loud and clear. Please come on the mic. Which option is very interesting out of the 4 options you should select? Sonali, Shreya, Purva, Hitesh. Anybody can comment. Are you able to see the 4 options, all of you? Can somebody confirm if the options are visible? Okay, Renuka has sent a message. Thank you. So we would like you to tell me option 1, 2, 3 or 4. Which one is better? Hitesh, any ideas? 3. Thank you. Your answer is right. Because first option, you have a lot of money. But look at the vision. The vision is going beyond the window. Second, you have a lot of knowledge. Fantastic. Vision going below the window. The third option is a balanced approach between money and knowledge. Very important for you. I'm coming to back. Fourth option to no knowledge, no money. वो तो कंगाल है. What I'm bringing to your attention is very critical, students. Very important message that stays with you for the rest of your life. Look at the third option. It's a balance between knowledge and money. This is exactly what politicians do. You can do it. What do politicians do? Think. They use their money to come to power. And they use the power to get back to the money. So it's a cycle. You do it, I'm saying you. But don't use, your power and money. Use knowledge and money. Use the knowledge to get money. The moment you get money, reinvest it back into knowledge. Get the learning. Don't stop. Do a small course. Graduate yourself to another level of knowledge. When you go into an organization, there may be so many new trainings that are available. Enroll yourself. Ensure that you don't stop learning. A big message for the rest of your life. Students, I'm moving to the next slide. The entrepreneurship model needs to be understood because it is very important today in the year 2024. India is all set to become the world's 3rd largest economy. Please understand what happens when we are 3rd largest economy. The world is looking at you guys. When you work in big MNCs, people out there sitting in US and Europe think that you all are great, fantastic. People who can create miracles. The world expects a lot of things when you study in an Indian institute, any Indian institute. So the magic out there in the corporate world needs to be understood. A big responsibility on your shoulders today as India is poised to become the 3rd largest economy. 2024 will, be remembered for many things. Future trends are also going to be very optimistic. But when you go in for an interview, when you meet people, when you go into, so many things, you tend to feel nervous. We also see people generally coming from a rural background, in college campuses, don't have great English, but that's fine. I don't want people to feel bad about it. Because when you're into the industry, it's all about emotions. It's all about expressing yourself. Basic English is fine. And trust me, people in the industry feel and they believe that people from rural India are more, focused. They are more committed. In fact, people from the cities hop around the jobs after every 2 years or 3 years. So yes, there is a big preference for people from rural India to be, preferred. But we need to, to understand. All of you on the screen, have you heard of this personality? Mirza Abu Talib का नाम सुना है क्या किसी ने? So अगर मैं कहूंगा कि शाइस्ते खान का नाम सुना है तो शायद आप लोगों को याद आए. But Mirza Abu Talib, was the real name of Shaista Khan. Shaista Khan की पदवी होती, वो किताब था. He came to Pune in 1660. Everybody knows history. And the surgical strike that Shivaji Maharaj did in 1663. And Shaista Khan had to run away. My important logic to you is, everything is known. Everybody knows the history. But look at the time frame from 1660 to 1663. 3 years of patience, and patience. No revenue, no big conquest, no big fort, no, money for salaries of your soldiers, but still the commitment is there. And one fine day, he himself volunteers to go up and take up the, initiative. What a character. Look what happened in the pandemic. 2 साल के pandemic में सब परेशान हो गए थे. But here you have an experienced, warrior who's been fighting for 3 years without any, chance of progress. And then after 63, it's all great success story that Immediately after 63, Shivaji Maharaj went to Surat. 64 ला शिवाजी महाराजांनी सुरत लुटलेली आहे. पण त्याच्यासाठी बॅकग्राऊंड मध्ये अभ्यास खूप केलेला आहे. बहरजी नाईक सुरतला गेलेला आहे, तिथे राहिलेला आहे. तो वीरजी वोरा नावाच्या एका व्यापाऱ्याकडे जाऊन काम करतोय. आणि वीरजी वोरा तेव्हाचा जगातला श्रीमंत लोकांपैकी एक होता. सुरत हे जगातलं सिलेक्टेड श्रीमंत शहरांमधलं होतं. पण 1670 ला पण महाराजांनी दुसऱ्यांदा सुरत लुटलेली आहे. Sadly, everybody talks about 64. 1670 also was a great venture. महाराजांनी तेव्हा जाऊन सुरत लुटली. This is where you have to understand. कारण शाहिस्ते खाननी पुण्यामध्ये जी लूट केली होती 3 वर्षाची, त्याची परतफेड करण्यासाठी महाराजांना सुरत लुटावी लागली. So 1664 was like, collection of entire revenues to make up for the last 3 years of a backlog. Look at what you do in the corporate world. One bad year is something that you have to, then take efforts to rework on your profitability in the coming next years. Not easy, students. You really have to, roll up your sleeves, take inspiration from these great stalwarts and move further. Now, I'm just wanting a quick, simple sentence. मैं बोल रहा हूं कि मैं कल मुंबई जाने वाला हूं. ये आपको सिर्फ इंग्लिश में कहना है. Can anybody volunteer to say this in English? मैं कल मुंबई जाने वाला हूं. ये सिर्फ आपको क्या कहना है, इंग्लिश में बोलना है. Can somebody try? Shreya, Sonali, anybody? Yeah, come in. Ishika, come in.
I am going there tomorrow.
Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you so much. One last attempt. Anybody else can come in and speak. मैं कल मुंबई जा रहा हूं. ये सिर्फ आपको इंग्लिश में बोलना है. One last attempt. Ishika made a wonderful statement. Somebody else please try. One last try, then I'll comment. मैं कल मुंबई जा रहा हूं. इसका सिर्फ आपको इंग्लिश में कन्वर्ट करके मुझे बताना है. How will you go about it?
Tomorrow I am going to Mumbai.
Okay, Vaishnavi, thank you so much. So this is fantastic. You are absolutely 100% right. And you didn't do any wrong. Yeah. Shantanu, come in.
I am leaving for Mumbai tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. But imagine if I say, I'm traveling to Mumbai tomorrow morning by Deccan Queen. I have given you more data. I say I'm going tomorrow, I'm going morning, I'm going by train, I'm going by Deccan Queen. What matters in the corporate world, students, is statistics and statistics. Mentally, please prepare yourself to speak not in a very vague language. I'll do the work. Kab karoge? I will do the work in 3 days. Sir, my product will increase your profits. My product will increase your profits by 17%. Oh, what is that 17%? Suddenly your customer becomes interested. Statistics will always help you. Make this as a golden rule in your corporate meetings, in your general talk. The moment you bring statistics, students, people will take you seriously. This matters again and again and again. If you have the golden rule of your life, get this registered. Statistics are important. Get the data. But we generally walk into a meeting without information, without data, and then we'll say, dekhenge. That is wrong. You should never do it. You should really have data whenever you're talking. And that will be the backbone for your career and success. Generally, when you are going ahead and preparing your resumes and sharing it with your potential people, the most important thing is it has to be 1 or 2 pages, very small, agreed. But there are so many exciting things you've done, so many projects you've done. Please get the link on your document and put it onto your Gmail drive and give the link over there. Let people connect, give it an open folder access, let them go there, let them see the entire project. You cannot carry a 200-page project into your interview. They may not have time, but if the link is given on the screen, and there are so many such things. Your LinkedIn account needs to be really good, students, because people are going to look at your LinkedIn accounts. The LinkedIn account has to be connected with your college. Official Matrix College ka jo LinkedIn account hai. So you show, a lot of connectivity. There are so many stalwarts who come to your campus. You meet people. Please understand, students, that luckily you're in a place like Pune, which is the only place in the world where education and industry are so close to each other. It's almost a stone throw away distance. You will realize that in Pune, you'll have all types of industries, the mechanical industry, the IT industry, the auto industry, the service industry. Just imagine where you are. You are required to attend multiple events, go to people, talk to them. So many things are happening in Pune on a daily basis. Students need to be a part of that. Go there, sit down, listen to what great stalwarts are speaking. These stalwarts will never meet you in your life, but in those occasions, they'll talk to you, shake hand with you. उन लोगों की appointment लेने के लिए 2-2 महीने लगेंगे आपको. But this is where, the entire city culture has to be understood. You need to, connect, speak, and grow in your career. Now, just a very interesting question, students. You want the first job, you want, the big, package. But do you know who got the honor to first hoist the national flag? We got independence in 1947. Who got that honor? Simple question, students. Very simple. Nilambari, Sanjana, Purva, Divya. Any NCC student over here? All this is general knowledge. Can anybody try this answer? Rohan?
Prime Minister.
Okay, I appreciate, Shantanu. Your answer is not wrong, but that is what we believe and that is what we perceive. In reality, it was not the Prime Minister of that time, Jawaharlal Nehru, but it was Lieutenant Colonel Surve, who was commanding 1st Maratha Light Infantry. Because they were posted in Japan at that point of time on behalf of the British forces. And Japan, the sun rises before India. So he was the guy who, hoisted the tricolor, which sadly very few people know. But this is very important and interesting for you all to understand that facts are facts, statistics is statistics. Coming back to, your career growth, you have to really understand that entire life, entire career is all about planning and opportunities. You have to, look at your opportunities and how you're planning. And then, you have to learn to present, learn to communicate. Many times, your capacity to create a dialogue is very important. When I'm talking with you right now, it's just a monologue. But when you talk, then we have created a dialogue. In the industry, what matters is the dialogue. Many people are very extraordinary in creating a dialogue. Buying time is also very important. Most of the time, you tend to, immediately say yes or no. Hang on. Sir, can I come back to you by afternoon? Sir, can I, talk to you tomorrow? Always go to the facts of the scenario. Don't rush. That's where the industry is all about. When you are looking at, this entire picture, please look at, say, a car showroom, for example. What happened, students, when you had to buy a car, say, 15 years ago? You went to a showroom, you saw a car, you purchased a car, and you were very happy. You came back home with that car. Today, what is the trend? It's almost different. You just give a phone call, the car comes to your home for a demo or even a delivery. So the things have changed. Today, the customer does not have to go to the products. The products are coming to the customer. That applies to you also. You should not, look at the old way of MBA. You should train yourself, acclimatize to the market scenario, and have a very important market-driven approach. That market-driven approach is important for you to get the jobs. There is something that you have done in your project which is related to the job description. Are you able to get the connect there? That will, quickly get you the jobs. But, general, inputs are not going to help. You should really come up with very, very extraordinary inputs. And that will alter the entire course of your career. It's a spark. Today, make sure getting a job is not a challenge. Surviving in your job is a challenge. I'm not saying you'll get a job of what you want or the salary that you want. But yes, you'll get a job, but that's not the challenge. Surviving in your jobs is a challenge because things are changing very fast. In the industry, it is believed that you're only as good as your last performance. Nobody remembers what you've done 6 months back or a year back. The level at which things are changing, the level at which the competitive environments are coming, you really need to, accelerate much faster. And therefore, candidates really need to be magical.
आपने प्रिंट आउट ही नहीं डाला उसका.
So generally, good candidates need to have very skillful delivery, very effective strategies. They have to, prepare. I'm constantly saying that life is all about preparation, meeting opportunity. The question is, you will get opportunities in your career. Are you prepared? Many times we are not prepared. That is where, the challenge arises, students. Look at so many ways in which, you have to align your business to the requirements. We just cannot go about, with a pep talk. The reality speaks. The reality is very, very important. And when you look at the ground realities, things become more magical, more interesting. For example, you just look at any Hindi old contemporary music. It is so good. The modern music that you hear in Hindi films may be good, but it doesn't stay for a long time. But any old Hindi music, it becomes nostalgic. What is the power of that old Hindi music? Question open to all of you. Why do you still like, even the young generation appreciates the old Hindi songs? But why? My question is why? Question open to all of you. Why do you still appreciate old Hindi songs? Pooja, Purva, anybody? Why are old Hindi songs more appreciated?
The lyrics in the songs give some of the other messages to our life. It is related to our life.
Yes, Ishika, perfect. That's very true. I appreciate your observation. In reality, what you say is not wrong, but there is a very important dimension. I was very lucky to speak with, a gentleman who was telling me, about what they did, 50 years ago. See, earlier when they used to record the Hindi song for a 7-minute or 6-minute, there was no technology. So the entire song had to be recorded in one shot. Start to end. Agar beech mein kisi ne galti ki, so entire recording had to restart. Today it's editing. People come in, they sing, the musician comes, the flute or the guitarist comes, and then the editor compiles everything, which is where, you have the computerized effects today. But in olden days, when there was no technology, the perfection was important. So to get that perfection, you will realize that 400-500 लोग इकट्ठा आते थे, 300 लोग रहते थे, 50-60 म्यूजिशियंस रियाज करते थे, सिंगर, कंपोजर, म्यूजिशियन, सब 2-2, 3-3 हफ्ते प्रैक्टिस करते थे, इकट्ठा रहते थे, खाना खाते थे, लंच इकट्ठा, उनमें एक ऐसा कनेक्शन हो गया था, टीम वर्क. No wonder the product was magic, because they spend time with each other. Today, sadly, we don't do that. Technology has been invented to bring people together. What is happening is exactly the opposite. You students, half of the time are spending time on your mobile. Your parents are talking with you, they are next to you, and still you're into your mobiles. That will not bring a dialogue. Industry runs on connects with people. You have to talk to people, you have to open up a dialogue, for which you have to give time. I'm not saying get yourself disconnected from the digital world, but the reality is the emotions that you have to see are so important. You will learn, you will grow if you give time to people. And that is a part of your success, because I keep on repeating, as you become senior in your life, you don't work, you get work done from people, because you become a manager. Then you have to inspire more people to work for you in your absence. That is where the entire journey of your career has to come up. When you're looking at very important things, don't misuse your holidays, your vacations. You tend to believe it's a time of fun and relaxation. No, please do important projects, and projects which may be not related to your core activity. Say if you have taken a finance domain, please go and do some marketing job. If you've taken a IT specialization, please go and do some shop floor work. Why? Because the core knowledge matters today in the industry. IT, for example, in itself is a support industry. If the manufacturing industry does well, you get a supply chain software. If the bank makes profits, you get a banking software. So in itself, the core industries have to perform for the IT to get money. Similarly, in your entire journey, you will be required, to make time available for, some career enhancements. Vacation is something that should not be a great time. Sunday is the donkey day of your life. You just are excited, you keep on postponing things for Sunday. Aise Sunday nikal jata hai. Is every day going to be that great? Then you're living your life. So make sure you utilize very critical time of your life. Internship should be done cross. Sometimes do a virtual internship, do an online course, but every moment is important. Bottom line, discipline and commitment make your career. The moment you look at out of that and go to things that are not required, you lose on your focus. Now, generally, most of you, are you able to see this personality? I hope you recognize this personality, all of you. Pooja, Purva, Sonali, Divya, who's this personality?
Sir, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, you have to realize that he said that if somebody is not afraid, he's lying or he's a Gurkha, because he came from the Gurkha regiment. He had very high regards. But it so happened that Mrs. Gandhi asked him to go ahead and attack Pakistan, and he denied it. He said, this is not a right time, because the Brahmaputra will be like an ocean if I attack during the monsoon season. We are speaking on April. He said, I'll not attack in April, because 2 months down the line, my soldiers cannot withstand. And more importantly, the farmers need all the trucks to carry their farming equipments to the bazaar, because in olden days, we didn't have that great infrastructure. As you all know, he did not take the soldiers out at war. He waited for December. That was a record win. Around 90,000 Pakistani soldiers have surrendered to India. This is one of the largest number of soldiers ever surrendered in history after the Second World War. It needs character, it needs something where you have to look at the future. We should not look at a short horizon. Generally, we look at a very shorter horizons, but great people, great generals, on another event, he had to, look at so many areas where, the people or the political staff or, people from the ministry said that we will not give you your attire allowance. Sam did not get angry. He said, so do you want me to wear a dhoti and a kurta and take the salute? The politicians understood that the uniform and its maintenance is important. They gave the attire allowance to the soldiers. Now look, on one occasion he's angry with the prime minister. On another occasion, he's absolutely taking it with humor. So please get the message loud and clear that humor is the gift of survival. It will be very critical for you not to get angry, to keep your head over your shoulders. Great stalwarts have always done it. So we are into the last 5 minutes and then we'll take some questions. So life is all about preparation, meeting opportunity. The big question is, are you prepared, students? You may get good opportunities. You may get good openings. Do you have the knowledge? Some friend will say, I have my friend who's the CEO, come in. But are you prepared? Are you certified? So what is important is to prepare. In the garden of opportunity, it is very difficult to decide whether you pluck a fruit or let it fall down. If you pluck it beforehand, it's, very ready to eat. If you let it fall down, it is overripe. So ultimately, a consensus building procedure is important. A dialogue is important. Talking to people is important. We don't, generally do that. We miss out on the realities that come in the corporate world that will, come up constantly with surprises. You need to really have good skills in documentation, because documentation today matters big time. If you're not good in documentation, then sadly, you have, missed out, because in the corporate world, the documentation will give a very big focus. There are very big, levels of documentation that are required. This level of transparency is very important. For example, look at a Jackie Chan movie. What happens when the Jackie Chan movie is over? He shows all the mistakes that he's done. He doesn't say, look, I'm a Superman. He says, okay, I fall down. This is the way I fall down. He did this 15, 20 years back. He called it, where he wanted to interact with people. Today, everybody's doing it. You call it behind the scene. But what happens, is people are connected with Jackie Chan. They respect him. You don't hide your failures. You say, look, this is the way I fall. And, people respect him for what he's done in the industry. But a unique way to get connected with people, that is what we are talking. What is that uniqueness, students, that you should, ask yourself, that will give you the job? Is it your communication? Is it your PPT presentation skills? Is it, your team handling capacity? All this is going to give you so first spend time in identifying your key strength areas. If you know your key strength areas, you have created a miracle for yourself. It needs to be constantly worked out. On a larger perspective, look at the bigger domain areas of your life. Look at the bigger, challenges that you have to handle. Many times you will find that, your teams will be rotating, people will change around you. For that, you will be really required to keep some level of commitment and work. But on this note, I don't want to, move further. We'll stop here and leave questions, for the audience. So Dr. Anand sir, over to you if there are questions coming up. So those who wish to ask the questions, you can raise your hand. Dr. Anand sir, am I clear? Am I audible? So students can come up with their queries if they have any questions related to their career, related to the corporate life, anything. Anand sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. So any questions before we, close the session? Over to you, and any questions if they are.
Yes, students, if you have any query related to what the industry expects from a fresh MBA, so you can please unmute yourself and go ahead with your question. The forum is open for question and answer. Sir is having a huge experience, so sir will be in a better position to guide you. So please go ahead with your question.
So,
Yes.
sir, when you were explaining that time, you told that a finance person should work in marketing and sales. Why is that so?
Because see, finance has interrelative connectivity with other areas. Imagine you are a finance guy. Many times you'll be required, to go and sell mutual funds or do some sort of opening bank accounts in a operations. You may not get core finance jobs straight away. For that, your selling skills come handy. For example, look at a software engineer. He may get a great job, but first job would be developing a banking software. So basics के लिए उसको वापस जाना पड़ता है. Even if you go into the bank, you will see people are rotated. Cashier रोज cashier नहीं होता. Then he has to be rotated to do a marketing job or a recovery job. So today industry expects a lot of versatility. I hope I answered your question, Ishika.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes.
what are the specific certifications that we need to do as a freshers to enter in the industry as finance students?
See, I think data analytics would help you right now, business analytics, data analytics, because everything is becoming more number oriented and statistics oriented. So business analytics today becomes very critical. Even if you do a small course, you yourself then keep on practicing and understanding, because data is important. How you use that data is absolutely critical. So that is where, you go to the managerial level, or you remain as a data entry operator. So for you, data is available. Analyzing that data and giving suggestions to your top executives becomes a very important tool in the early days of your career. So I would request you to look for a good analytics job, and you can get a career start with that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Shantanu, come in.
Yes, sir. Currently, I am asking question on out of the position, but just in my concern, just asking. As per the recession is in the part, so what is the current job situations in the market as per you seeing or watching? The freshers are being beaten off for the 20 or 50 seats, and 5,000 people are applying. So what are the current situation in the market?
In the
Can
market,
you
the job
elaborate?
market for a fresher actually operates 2 or 3 times in a year. You have to realize that now March end is a time where the financial year is getting over. In April, companies will be having a lot of new budgets because the new financial year starts. The new financial brings a new budget, new hiring. So you will see a lot of trigger happening in the new financial year. In some MNCs, the financial years are Jan to December. Many times, these are important trends. Some companies specifically go into the job market for freshers when the results are declared after the academics is over. So June, July, again you'll be finding a time when results are declared. Suddenly the new year starts, academic year starts, and placements start coming on. But that's one area that I mentioned about entrepreneurship. So many times, why are we only concentrating on the job factor? The job factor should not only be a bread and butter factor. It should be an earning experience. So you work there for 2 years and you move and start your own company. You should remind yourself that you'll be paid in 2 ways. One is the coin of money and one is the coin of experience. Today, what matters for you is the experience that should remain with you for the rest of your life. But what is critical is that our mindsets still are into jobs. Well, do the job for 2 years, get the experience, and it's magic. At the most, what will happen? The entrepreneurship will fail. You come back to the industry, do your job. But if it works, you are a next millionaire waiting to happen. Shantanu, do you agree?
Yes, sir, for sure. Yes,
Thank you.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yes, anyone else? If you have any query, please go ahead.
Okay, I think then with no query, we can wind up then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank you very much, sir, for the excellent session wherein you provided that what are the expectations of industry from a fresh MBA. Sir also highlighted that the only thing which industry seeks from its employee, whether it's a fresh employee or a experienced employee, is performance. If the person is performing, the job is there, job is secured. If the person stops performing, then the job becomes unsecure. Sir also highlighted that how we can upgrade our skills by doing various certifications. Sir highlighted that nowadays data analytics plays a very important role. Sir, I would like to tell you that we have already started giving certain courses related to data analytics to our students. So most of the students have started completing those courses. And the most important thing is, sir highlighted on the importance of taking the summer internship projects very seriously. Because as you all will be freshers, when you will be appearing for the interview, questions will be asked on the basis of what you have learned during the summer internship project. So that thing was also highlighted by our guest of honor, Mr. Gaurav Ambedkar, sir. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and guiding our student in a wonderful manner. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. Please convey my regards to Shilpa Kulkarni, madam. Thank you.
Yes,
Jai Hind.
definitely, sir.
Thank
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye.
So students, we have posted the feedback link of today's session in the chat box. Please go to the chat box and fill the feedback link before leaving the session. Feedback is compulsory. So fill the feedback and then leave the session.